Hey guys, I'm gonna bring you a special system for me today. Um, After a while, I finally made it back to my original home system. The system that we're in right now is the first system I ever spawned on when I started playing, which for me was, I think it was right after Atlas Rises dropped, which I think that was like August of 2017, and that's about the time I started playing. But yeah, when I fired up the game, this was the system that I first started in. And I spent a really good amount of time here um, before I ventured out and started to do a whole bunch of stuff. I had a pretty basic base here where I learned how to do stasis devices and what was the other high one? The fusion igniters. Um, so I started to, make a farm that I would be able to grow like maybe 5 or something like that. But, it was enough to get me my first freighter and, a good set of ships to start with. So I ended up leaving, um, just doing a whole bunch of stuff. I actually did not leave the system, or I should say, set down a new base until after the very last mission. Um, and I ventured out. By that time, I'd started to get in contact with other players and stuff because for the longest time I just played solo. But then I got with some of the people in the Amino hub and headed out that way after the final mission. First, I bopped around the ETARC hub for a little bit, but then decided to just kind of jump my way over to Amino and set up shop there for a long time. And just kind of forgot about this whole area of space. And if you remember back then, your teleport list, you could only keep, I think, 3 other stations in there other than the one that you are currently in. And of course, you could only have one base. Um, let's see what we got here. Yeah, crap class in the cabinet. I don't expect much from this system. This is a medium economy system. Um, so, I don't expect too much from it. But around the time Next was coming out, I got the notion to try to make my way back here. But of course, I was trying to figure out how to do that. Um, you know, then it was kind of easy because you could go through a portal, make a base, and be right there. The thing is when I first started playing, I didn't pay attention to the signal boosters and writing all my glyphs down. I really wasn't too into that when I first started playing. I just jumped from system to system, watched the planets. I wasn't really ship shopping back then. I just wanted to see cool planets and find animals and stuff like that. So all of that stuff, I really didn't know. Um, but I decided to look through my screenshots anyway because I did start to take screenshots shortly before I made my long venture out. And sure enough, I remembered that there was a system nearby here um, that I wanted to move to. When I learned more of the advanced base building and how to make a really successful farm, when I figured that stuff out, I wanted to be on a different planet. I wanted to be on a planet with a lot of animals. Back then, it wasn't uncommon for you to come across a lush planet that was devoid of all animals. My planet was, but I wanted stuff. So I jumped around a little bit in this region and came across this really nice bluegrass planet. It had triceratops and all sorts of animals. So I was like, oh yeah, 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 okay, I want that. So I kind of kept that in my back pocket. And then that's when I started to learn how the signal boosters work and how you can convert the coordinates to glyphs and how to use the portals and all that other stuff. So I kind of kept that, wrote that down, and just kind of kept it. But I didn't think I kept this one. So about a month or so ago, um, I took the coordinates from the system nearby where I was going to move, portal over there, and sure enough, it's actually the same name um, that it was back in Atlas Rises. I claimed the system, I didn't rename it anything, so it's just the regular RNG name. Where is that? Here. So that's this one right here. As you see from where I am now, it's only 124 light years away. I actually thought it was a little bit further. I knew it was one jump, but I thought it was like 1,000. So anyway, what my plan was to come over here, go to this system. I knew I could jump there from where I was. I came here from the UAS, which is Zane's new civilization. So once I got finished doing all the stuff to help him out over there, was when I decided to come back this way, because it's about 200,000 light year jump, and I figured I could make that. I can get close to 2,800 with this one right here. And you know, so I made it back over here in a couple days. But my goal was here, and I started to look through my screenshots again and realized that I actually did have glyphs from here. And I think I remember when I did it, I right before I left here, I decided to finally track down the portal. This was my planet that I set up shop on. But yeah, so I finally got to that portal eventually and decided to take a screenshot of the glyphs, but I just forgot that I did that. So I basically went through my screenshots, took the first, like the oldest 3 pictures of glyphs that I could find, and I went through those, went to those portals, found the one that I was at, figured that was going to be it, tried this one for a long shot, came through the portal, which is right there, and bam, I'm back here in my original home system. So it was really cool. But we'll go out to the map. I'll show you what I was talking about before, if I can find it. I don't want to make a waypoint because I have another waypoint going that's a little bit farther away. I don't want to lose. I think this is it. So yeah, here it is. So I remember when I was here originally, I was just kind of keeping it close, within the same region basically, and came here, saw had a bunch of planets that I like, and was gonna settle down here, but I just never did, because I knew even if I did, I was gonna dig it up and go to Amino anyway. But I thought it was like 1,000 light years away. So here was my goal. I made it here, and I said, okay, I don't know where home is, but I'll find it. I was like, okay, it's like 1,000 light years away, right? So I was just gonna do one of these and say, okay, I think I remember going up and then to the left and a little bit, and then I'll make it. And then I was just going to be looking for my old contacts. And if you guys don't know how to find your old contacts, so it's quite simple. For the Xbox and for PlayStation, you're going to hit on the analog stick, the L3, and it's going to come up with a bunch of contacts. Now I've already done it, so probably nothing will come up, but you see all these right here. So these are where other people have been, because I was curious as if other people had been here, and clearly other people have been here. This is right along the normal start ring. If you're not familiar with that, if you go to the Pilgrim Star map, and before you type in some coordinates, just click on the draw black hole ring, and you'll get like an oval ring that is kind of goes around the galaxy. That ring represents the common start point of everyone who plays the game. So anywhere along that ring, that's where you're going to start the game. And clearly, some people have started here. I've gone to a couple of them. Some of them are about the same people, but they're definitely different people. I actually thought someone started a civilization up here, but I went to a bunch. It doesn't really seem like it. Most of the claim systems still have the RNG name, so it's probably just where people started, and maybe they jumped around a little bit, but nothing. Doesn't look like anything official started over here. So anyway, for your contacts from where you have been, you want to look for these guys with the circle around them. The circle around them represents where you have been. You see, it's going to get a little bit smaller. It's going to go away as you get close to it. But if you're just kind of looking around and you see that circle, you're like, okay, all right, I've been here before. Okay, I don't need to go back, or oh yeah, that's that place I want to go to. So that's what I was looking for, and those circles are going to follow all your different saves. Okay, so what I mean by that is this save that I'm on right now is a new normal save. I started this after next. My legacy save, where I first came to this system right here, is now in Isenton. And I found out that your discoveries cross your modes that you play for and your saves, because I actually brought my permadeath save close to here. I couldn't find the original home system, but I got close and I saw where some of my old contacts were, and that's when I realized that your contacts that you have made will cross your different modes. And I noticed that when I started my permadeath save again, and I made my way back over to Amino, and I saw all the things that I discovered in normal mode over there. So I knew that stuff kind of I knew that crossed over. So using that logic, that's how I was going to find this system. But I am so glad that I had the glyphs, because I would have overshot it. I still would have been looking for this place. Probably would have given up and just gone somewhere else. But here we are. We found it. So now the home system looks a whole lot different. What's cool here is that not only did after next, even though most things were reset, here it's almost exactly the same. And I did not enter this system or a base here to the Hello Games website, or what is that place called, the Galactic Atlas that they have. When Next was about to come out, they said, hey, if you have a build, a planet, a moon, or anything that you like, that you want, that you treasure, tell us about it and we'll see if we can preserve it. And I gave them one of my latest builds in Amino that I really liked. It was a planet with gold grass, and I had a nice little base there, so I submitted that. But I think I think it's crap now. I think it's like a low atmosphere planet or something like that. It's completely gone. But this is virtually the same. It's got the green nebula in the back. That was as it was before. Clearly the rings are new, but it's the same. It's 3 lush planets, a no atmosphere moon, all the way back there. Is that it? Let me see real quick. I don't think that's it. No. So that's another lush one. Which one are you? Okay, you're the toxic planet. And yes. So here's the radioactive planet. This is where I started. This is where I woke up on, all the way back there. But it's all the same planet types, and it all looks the same, and it kept the RNG name right here that I when I was first here, I claimed it, and bam, it's still the same one. I really didn't miss a beat as far as what was here, and that was pretty cool. Now, the one thing I did notice, for you guys that might go back and look for a old system that you had, was even though all of these were claimed, and I know I claimed them when I first started. When I first started playing, I just claimed anything. I didn't care. I land there. I was like, mine. It's mine. I'm taking it. But when I first got to the system, everything was yellow, indicating that I claimed it. But when I landed on the planets, it would now say that first contact, and I had not claimed it, which is how I was able to rename this and rename this. And I've started the game over just to see what would happen, and the names that I gave it they stayed. So that was the only interesting thing that did happen. With the exception of the very first planet, the radioactive planet I just showed you, when I landed on that planet, I didn't get first contact. I just got, as if I'd been there before. So that's the only thing that was a little weird. I was afraid I might get a bug from that, because I got a pretty nasty bug in Atlas Rises that basically what happened is, um, how did this happen? Okay, so from this region of space I'm at now, I'm gonna go over to a trade post. From this region of space, like I said, I made my way to a few different points in the galaxy, and I decided that I was going to come back here. So, as I said earlier, back then, you could go through a portal, make a base, um, go back through that portal, and then teleport to your base, and then bam, you're in a new spot in the galaxy. So, I decided to do that. I was going to make a base on this planet that I really liked over here. But when I went through the portal, um, I started to walk around the planet, and I noticed that when I went, like, I was going to make the base and everything. So what I first did was I just put a save point down outside of the portal, and I made a hard save right there after going through the portal. Remember, I had not reclaimed a base there. All I did was just put the marker down to save. So I did that, and I go back through the portal, because at first I was just deciding if I was trying to jump there. Amino from here is, how far is it? It's probably, who discovered this? I think this is Amino base. 716,000. Let's see. It's either that or it's like a million or something away. It's pretty far away. So I thought maybe I would, just jump back this way. But after I made that save and I go back to the portal, so you know the noise that the portal makes when you go through it? Well, I kept hearing that. Even as I got to the space station, wherever I was, wherever I went, wherever I landed, it sounded as if I was going through a portal. And I was like, oh, okay, this can't be bad. I mean, this can't be good. So I keep playing, and then I notice as I land on planets and I land on systems, nothing new was coming up here. And I thought maybe I hit a limit and it wouldn't record anymore. I was still kind of learning the game a little bit. I was learning new things every day. Learn new things every day in this game. So I thought maybe the I just kind of ran out of room. I can't discover anymore. But then what I thought was funny is that every time I landed somewhere, even if I landed on a planet 3 times, every time I landed on the planet, the name of the planet would pop up, and and it would say first contact. And sometimes I would go back to the list and I would see that I'm standing here, but sometimes I would look and I would never see my little icon. It would never say that I'm standing somewhere. That's how I knew I had a bug. So it turned it into Hello Games. They were like, yeah, we've heard of this one before. You got a pretty bad one. We'll do what we can, and we'll see what happens. But I waited a really long time to turn it into them. It was after they announced Next. So, they didn't get on it right away. Maybe they were working on it, but it finally got fixed about the time Abyss or Visions came out. So now that save is back to normal. So I am so wary about going through portals and saving and stuff like that. But I'm just glad to have it back to normal. So anyway, that kind of made me a little shy about doing stuff like that. So I pretty much just kind of stayed put, unless I was jumping to a place, because that was still my normal save, still here in Euclid. So the only way I could get a system in my list, I had to make a base on that system. So, I really wasn't keeping bases anymore. I'd make a base for other players, circuit boards, living glass or something, and then I would move on to another one if I wanted to remember a system. That was the only way I could do it, besides in my screenshots and stuff. So anyway, I'm standing on this one because this fighter right here is the first really good, at least in my opinion, ship that I got. Back then, when I was in this system, I did not know that the regular ships like these guys can come in S classes. I thought S classes were just reserved for exotics. Um, and I'd seen the A class a bunch of times. I liked the damage on it. I liked that there was a lot of slots. So I remember it landed at my base, and I just grinded circuit boards until I had the 50 whatever million you need for the ship. And I got this in an A class, and I rocked this thing for a long time. Um, but yeah, it looks exactly the same. This is the exact same body style. They just changed the colors. The accent, I think it's the same, but the body, it's like a cream, kind of a white now. It used to be gray. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I liked it. Like I said, I kept it for a while. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring you all my little story and my little journey that I decided to put myself on, since I hadn't, you know, not really working on anything right now in the game. Um, Finished up doing the builds for Zane in the UAS, and you know, I have my footprint in Amino and FDI, so you know, I didn't have anything else to do, so I decided to make this trek. And so I'm gonna hang out over here a little while. I might hang out over here until Beyond comes out. Basically, I'm just gonna do a bunch of ship shopping. Already found a couple cool ships. There's nothing here. I mean, this fighter is nice. I still do like this one, but as far as anything else, there's nothing here. Like I said, this is a medium economy, so it could take forever. Who knows? Um, but yeah, so I'll log this stuff in case anyone is interested in coming over here to check out some of these ships or something. But yeah, I'm gonna hang out here probably for a while unless someone asks me to do something else, and you know, I'll make my way over to another place and do some other things. But I'm just gonna hop around here, see if I can find some places that I used to go to for this and that. I'm gonna see if I can find that very first squid that I found a long time ago. It's somewhere here. It's within one jump of this system. See what I can find, see what's changed. Obviously a lot, because now this place has animals. I found a few, right? I've only found two. But I'll go to the other planets, see what we got going on here. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to try to make sure this doesn't stay too long. But yeah, if you are interested in doing something like this, you totally can. Just remember that all your discoveries, the older they are, the further down in your list they're going to be. All you got to do is hover over the system you want, hold down for a second the X button. For Xbox, it's going to be the A button, and that's how you make your waypoint when you get to the galactic map, and just follow it. You know what, I will give you one last tip, just for people who don't do a whole lot of jumping and stuff, because it can be a little confusing sometimes. Sometimes you can lose your way. So, like I said, I have a custom waypoint, so the way that I do it is I go down to life form, usually makes the space black behind you so it's easy to see, and you just kind of scroll over until you get custom waypoints. See, my waypoint is 18,000 light years away, and I just follow the line until I can't follow anymore. So I can't go anymore, you know, as far as the predetermined line they give you. So I just line it up in the final direction it gives me, and I just go. I just try to keep it into a straight line, and I go until I can't go anymore. For people who are addicted to ship hunting, this can make trips very long, because as soon as you see something, you see high supply right there. I want to go here now. As a matter of fact, I am gonna go here. So this is the problem that ship hunters have. So I see high supply, and I got to go. And I saw another one back here, flourishing Corvax. I'll probably go there next. So if you want to try to keep yourself honest, my advice is to, when you're doing this stuff, only jump to uninhabited systems, because there is no chance that you will get lost and spend hours ship shopping. And just jump from there. When you jump from there, come back out to space, bring up your custom waypoint, follow the line. Once the line ends, just stay in a straight line. You'll be off sometimes, even though you can get like maybe 27, 2800s per jump. Sometimes you're only going to net 1,000. Sometimes you'll net 3,000. It just all depends on the direction that it sends you in. Hopefully that will change up sooner or later. Anyway, like I said, I'm going here. I don't even care that's one planet. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. As soon as I get into this system, hopefully I'll find something cool. If I do, you'll see it on Amino, you'll see it on Discord, maybe even Facebook, I don't know. But we'll see what happens with it. But I am so glad my homecoming is complete. And yeah, it was a fun journey. So if you all want to do that, just there's a few tips that I have for you. And happy trails out there. I will see you guys maybe on another video, or maybe on somebody's stream. Have a good one all.